here we are coming together, being together, and remembering the truth. And one of the ways in which we do that is with what we call our identity prayer. This prayer is not just an affirmation, it is a destination. That's right. Okay, you guys should all be able to hear me okay right now. There you go. And now you can see it. Let's say this together. I know that within myself, there is that life which is perfect, complete, divine. It was never born and cannot die, for it lives and is God. Within myself is the wholeness, peace, poise, and power of life. This life is health, it is abundance, it is love. There is one life. It is the life of God. And this is my life now. And so it is. You know, when we come together like this, it becomes so important that we, you know, remember that truth that we just spoke of. Okay, give me a second here. There we go. You guys can still hear me all right? Good. Myrtle, could you, never mind. Got it. Okay, everybody remember to stay muted until it's your time to say something, if you want to say something. We're here today. We come together, all of us. You know, we're in our isolation. And the more we can remember this, then we remember we are not isolated. We remember that we are all in this together. That's just so important in these times, to remember the truth of who we are. Remember the goodness of who we are. And so what we're going to do here today is as many, you know, rituals that can help us do that. And so what we're up to now is Trish. Trish, please unmute yourself and come on and give us your wisdom in our sacred space moment.
Thank you, Reverend Cliff. Am I on? Can everybody hear me? Okay, good. Anyway, it's so good to see everybody. I'm so glad that we at least have this opportunity to be together. I'm very grateful for that. Of course, like all of us, I've been thinking a lot about what's happening. And the main thing is, it really shows us that one of our most important principles in this teaching is we are all one. We are all one in this together. There's no discrimination, for this is hidden in all of us. So what we have to know from that is, if we're in fear, there's others that are in fear. If we're in peace, there are others that are in peace. And as I was cooking some soup the other day, which people will be surprised that I was doing that, and as I was pouring the salt in, I thought about all the fear that's coming from people through Facebook. And I will say sometimes I'm going through fear, but how it's like pouring too much salt into the world, knowing that the more we are in whatever feeling we hear, wherever our consciousness is, we are giving it to the whole world. And so, at least in this teaching, we have some principles, some spiritual tools, which is to raise our consciousness and go above fear, go into peace and harmony, and know that as we do that, we're pouring that into the world. So our meditation this morning is just to remember who we are. So if you're comfortable, please close your eyes and just take some deep breaths and go within and go to that place of imagination. That place that we can imagine whatever we want to, that creative imagination that we all are. And imagine an energy ball above our head swirling around, and it can be a white light, it can be multicolors, it can be a certain color, it can sparkle, whatever it is that you want to imagine this ball of light and energy And as we're aware of it, it starts pouring itself into a beautiful flow into our bodies, into our minds, into our necks, into our shoulders, into our heart, into our stomach, into our legs. And this ball of light, this flow of light is health, compassion, peace, harmony, truth, knowingness, faith. And as we do this, we expand this light to include our family members, our mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, children's, aunts, uncles, and our friends. And we expand this healing light even further to include our congregation, everyone that is in my voice range and all that aren't, everyone in our communication. And we know that as we focus on this, as we become this, as we embody it, we're pouring it in to the world, to every person in this world, knowing health and vitality and peace and harmony and truth for everyone. No one is excluded. And as we do that, we know we can release fear or anything that keeps us from knowing this truth of who and what we are. And so for this, I give great thanks. I declare it and know it as the truth, and so it is.
And so it is. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Rev Trish. Denise, why don't you come on and do a spiritual mind treatment for us?
Taking a deep breath, relaxing into the center of my being. I know there is only one life. This life is health, it is glorious, it is magnificence, it is well-being, it is peace, it is calm, it is love, it is community, and it is connection. And I know that this life is my life, it is the life of each one here, it is the life of all. And in sharing this love, sharing this connection, even in the midst of circumstance, I am so grateful to know I am with the one that is the one, that I am with the all that is the all. Knowing we are all connected, all gaining health, maintaining health, enjoying health, and well-being. And I am so grateful for this truth. And I release it into the law as together we declare. And so it is.
Excellent. Thank you, Denise. Thank you. So today's talk is called You Are Resilient. But before that, a joke. Guy calls up the church office and says, "Hey, can I talk to the head hog of the trough?" And the administrator's offended by this says, you can't, are you talking about the pastor? You can't call the pastor a hog. You need to call him pastor or minister or reverend. And the guy on the phone says, well, I was calling because I'm thinking of donating $5,000. And she says, hold on, I'll get Porky for you. All right. Here we go. This has been a rough week for me. Getting this technology together so that we can be on Zoom and live stream took a lot of work. It took a lot of things going wrong, things not working to the point where I couldn't understand what it was that wasn't working. And each time I could feel my own emotional fragility. I could feel how easily I got upset with each thing that went wrong, each time my computer crashed, each time the software died, and no matter who I spoke to, I could not find anybody who had figured out how to take a Zoom session like we have and live stream it successfully. But I knew that if we were going to have the reach we wanted to have, that was important, not just to be on Zoom, but to live stream on Facebook and other places for those who didn't want to join Zoom or aren't able to. And so I kept at it. And what I noticed is through all my upset, through all the times that were hard, and there were a lot of them this week, where the computer crashed, where the software didn't do, I'm following all these instructions and things are just not turning out right. And each time I had to remind myself, I'm resilient. I, of course, will get up and try again and try again. And I think that's true for all of us. What I learned this week, my big epiphany is there is an emotional fragility and a resilience in all of us. And all we're doing is playing the back and forth like a slinky in terms of where's the power, where's the focus, how are we navigating these two things in terms of our vulnerability and our power, strength, and resilience. And I noticed that both exist at the exact same moment, that even in the times I was most upset, and I might even be saying words like, I give up, this is never going to happen, I'd catch myself and go, wait a minute, of course this is going to happen. I just need to know that I'm resilient enough to get up and try again and keep looking at this. And that is true for each and every one of you. And how do I know that? You haven't killed yourself. You're still alive. You're still moving through whatever it is you're moving through. You are way more resilient than you think you are, simply by the fact you exist. That resilience is in each of us, and it is, and we know in this teaching that what we focus on, we give power to. And that's what I started to notice. I was beginning to focus more on my fragility and upset than I was focusing on my resilience. And that once I started remembering that both get to exist at the same moment, I get to be emotionally vulnerable, and yet I am resilient. So of course I'll work through this. That's when my true power started coming through, and I started to recognize the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step, until ultimately it's now working. And we are streaming on Facebook Live, and we are streaming on our website as we are having this Zoom meeting. It wasn't easy to get there. It may not be easy for you to work through what you're dealing with in terms of this virus, in terms of having to hunker down in your house or apartment or wherever it is you're being. You may have things that are not working out for you right now, that seem awfully tough in terms of getting medical attention or food or connection with others. But I promise you, you are resilient enough to work through this. You are a powerful, creative, spiritual being with the power to move forth, to know and be more than you can feel in this moment. That doesn't mean you're not going to get upset. And that doesn't mean you don't get to feel your vulnerableness and your fragility. I do all the time. You know, you may not know this about me, but my feelings get hurt really, really easily. But I'm resilient. And so I know this about myself. And so I allow whatever feelings I'm having that are hurt to simply move through to the fact that I am resilient. You are too. You have this power, this presence to rise within you. Every single one of you out there, whether you feel it or know it or not, you have the power to move forth in your life and be who you have come here to be. What an amazing opportunity we have right now. We are stuck with this system of being separated in ways that have not been done, you know, in my lifetime, and probably not yours either. So we're all experiencing something the first time. And I am certain that this is a paradigm shift, that once we work through this, things will never be the same. Things we're not going back to what was. There is a new way of being with each other and in the world that is going to be different. And so since that's happening anyway, I ask you, how are you going to be different? What in this transition, in this paradigm shift, are you wanting to bring forth for you? I've been talking to a lot of you out there, and many of you are taking on projects that you've been putting off forever. Many of you have hunkered down into the idea of being of service to others. All this is rising. As a community, we are actually doing great. And if you as an individual in this community are not doing great, we are here to support you. That's why I have put out my phone number. I give it to you again, 828-318-3389. That's 828-318-3389. That's 828 to start, because I still have the same cell phone I've had forever, long before I came to LA. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Trish. You can reach out to anyone you want. It's totally up to you, but you are not alone. We are all in this together. And you know, the love and care that goes through this community is unbelievable. We are an incredible, I'm so proud of our community. I'm so proud of each and every one of you and how we stand up to the highest we can be in these times. This is beautiful. This is so beautiful for all of us to come together in this way. You are resilient. And if you're not feeling it at any given moment, remember. And if you can't remember for yourself, ask one of the practitioners or me to remind you. We will remember it for you. You are resilient. We are going to get through this, and we are going to get through this together. I love you, and we're all here for each other together. So what I'm going to do now is open up the floor for people to share, because we're here together. Any one of us can share. So if you have something at this point you'd like to add to this conversation or a question to ask, please take the time right now to do so. Just unmute and ask the question, because I'm not able to see everyone that's on, but I will be able to if you unmute and start talking. Whether you're on the phone or online, feel free right now to add to this conversation in any way you'd like. Jeff.
Oh, yay. You know me, I like to talk. Hi, everybody. We all love Zoom meetings. For those of you who are used to these, by the way, you may also know there's a chat window Ashley and I are obviously resisting the urge to talk it up, but anyway, Zooms are like such a thing. I just want to make a little comment that I've been experiencing, and I think that hit me, and it teed off of what you said, Cliff, was that we're dealing with so many unknowns, and unknowns are the fertile ground of fear, right? So anytime we don't know something, we just go, ah. And so one of the things I've been mindfully trying to do is focus on more knowns. You know, what do I know? Do I know I have the love of my family? Am I okay for the next 24 hours? Am I going to be able to, do I have enough milk in my refrigerator? Can I get it if I need it? Rather than watching those fear loops of just spinning around going, but what if this happens? And what if that happens? And what if that happens? And so that's my little contribution. Try to make more knowns than unknowns. I think that helps. And walk around the neighborhood. It's really fascinating. You know, to see how other people live, to see the diversity of our world, which you don't normally see. It gets you out of your bubble. And anyway, that's my thoughts.
That's fantastic, and that's so important in terms of what we're talking about here. I take my dog for a walk, right? We're out there, and the funniest part is dogs aren't worried about this virus, and so all they want to do is play with each other, and you get to see so much more. You're so right, Jeff. Who else wants to share right now? Who would like to talk up? Come on, just unmute and do it.
Yeah, well, I would just like to say this is really a great opportunity for me, because I never realized during this time what a people person I really am. My whole life has been surrounded by interacting with people and feeling their love and their givenness and their gratitude. And I miss that so much that it does feel good to get out and get into the neighborhood. And yeah, Jeff, I saw you the other day when we were walking. That was a great connection. But what I do is I do go within, and I visualize all the good that has been given to me up to this point. And I do my affirmations of I am, and that keeps me centered and stabilized into staying in the moment and not in the fear, as Jeff said, of knowing that in this moment, all is well, I am okay, and that at any time, as Reverend Cliff said, I have the opportunity to reach out and to connect with all of you at any time, and I'm grateful for that, knowing that our community is still sustaining itself, and it is viable, and that we will get through this together. Thank you.
Absolutely, we will get through this together. That's the most important piece of this. This is why we come together on, to remember who we truly are, to remember that we are not alone, to remind ourselves of the tools we have. We have these incredible tools in this teaching to remind ourselves of the powerful, creative, spiritual beings we are, and that it does have impact. It absolutely has impact the more we can remember how resilient we are, how powerful we are as we move forward. Who else wants to share? Come on, unmute and just go for it. Nobody?
It's kind of seemed interesting that Reverend Trish and I were talking the other day about, I really have wanted a little more quiet time. This is not the way I wanted to have it show up, but I'm really able to take advantage of it and recognize that, I'm appreciating not having to run around and be everywhere and go and do and really have that quiet time to go within, to do more meditation and to do more reading and to do more, house projects and things that are tending my own home and my own backyard. And we've been walking the neighborhood and saying hello to the neighbors. And it's really an interesting experience because most of my life has been running around up until recently. And so it's nice to walk through my neighborhood instead of drive through on my way to somewhere else and really see the people that are there and say hello and wave at the children who are playing in the yard. And, it's fun. And it's a whole new way of relating to everyone and to myself. that it is okay to have this quiet time. And I really, in my heart, I know that everyone is safe. Everyone is coming through in whatever way they choose to come through this. And for whatever reason, this is for the highest and best of everyone. And it just allows this peacefulness during the journey. And I'm really, my default right now is curiosity. How is this going to look tomorrow? How is this going to show up tomorrow? How is this going to happen? And because I have no idea. That's one of the things I use for navigating uncertainty is curiosity. Instead of saying I know or making something up, I'm really good at making stuff up. But instead of saying, I don't know, it's weird, it's like, well, now I'm curious. What's going to happen? How is this going to enhance my relationships? How is this going to build my health? How is this going to change my world in ways that are beneficial to me and everybody I know? So, thank you.
That is fantastic. And so on, it's finding a silver linings, finding the good. I had this buddy. I wrote this in the newsletter, but I'm going to share the story anyway. I have this buddy who, for 2 years straight, talked about how he wanted to redo his porch and never had the time to get around to it. And then a storm came, lightning hit a tree. The tree fell on the porch, broke the porch completely. It isn't the way in which he wanted it to go about, but he finally redid the porch and was happy with what, it finally was. There's something around this virus that in terms of bringing us all together as a people, it may not be the way we wanted it to go, just like Denise just said, but it is bringing out our best. We are all in this together more than ever as a world, not just as a country. We are having to work together as a world in a way that nothing besides an alien invasion probably would have done. So this is our alien invasion. And this has brought us forth. So it's interesting how we get what we ask for, but rarely in the form that we think it's going to come. And so look around at what you have in your life. Notice if what you're having in terms of connection, in terms of being with folks and who's reaching out and who's being of service and what you're getting to, are these the things you've been talking about doing, just like Denise, forever, and now the situation, circumstances have arisen to allow you to do that, and maybe it's not the circumstances you would have liked, but you're getting to do what you've said you wanted to do anyway. That is magnificent. Who else wants to share? Anybody? Unmute and start talking.
Good morning, this is Clorinda.
Hi, Clorinda.
Hey, Corinda.
I just feel this is a good time to share with family and friends too that you haven't talked to in a long time. I've reunited with lots of people. I call people every day just to see how everybody's doing. And it just makes you feel more united when you are able to check on everybody, and it makes them feel loved and that, they're special too, So I just feel this is a good time to reach out to people that maybe people forgot about, or you forgot they were your friends, or many years ago. And I just find myself going through my phone list, calling people every day. I'm calling somebody new, and I just feel that's a good thing just to do every day. And I just feel instead of looking at this as a negative, I just feel we have to look at the positive and how we've become more united with everybody. And I've even looked in the news where they've seen there's not as much pollution now, that the waters are getting cleaner. Maybe this is something for us to realize that, hey, there is global warming. We are, as a human race, destroying our earth, and we need to be more aware and clean our waters and clean our air. And so I just feel those are positive things for us to look at. And that's just my input for today.
That's fantastic, Clorinda. That's exactly what we're talking about. Looking at what works is the positive. And you're right, the air in LA has just been fantastic. So clear, loving it. So, that is a silver lining, a huge one in and of itself. And it is being noticed by others. And that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, Clorinda. That's great. Who else? We got time for more. Just unmute and start sharing. Don't wait for me to call on you.
Come on, Tatlock. You know you have something to say.
Yeah, Michael, you always got something to say.
Dan Stein, the pressure. So, actually, it's really been, I mean, it's been sort of nice because I've gotten off the busy bus. But getting off the busy bus has also given me the opportunity to get a lot of stuff done that, I wanted to do. And it's also allowed me the opportunity, like Denise said, of going inside and getting more clarification about what's important. And knowing that truth, that it is important to me, like, family.
That guy sitting next to you.
Yeah, that guy sitting next to me, it's our anniversary today. Coming up on 18 years together. And who would have thought, that I would, be with somebody for 18 years? But I have, which is a really lovely truth. But, the thing that gets me every morning, because, I get up early and take the dog out, is the quietness. And it reminds me of the quietness of that I used to experience when we would have really big snowfalls in Kansas. And it would just be still. And it's in that stillness that I find more of my truth as I go deeper. And, as we pass through this, I think we all find a deeper truth for ourselves because everything's just been put on pause. And so when the pause button comes off, it becomes a situation of where do we want our next step to be? And how do we want to take it? And for me, it's this pause that's giving me the clarification of how I want to move forward into the world.
Nice.
So, there. And that's the other part of my family right there. I be done.
That is fantastic. Wow, Michael, you see? See, we're all sharing and it's wonderful. This is fantastic. This is how Zoom can bring us together and have us feel like a family, even when we're feeling so separate out there. Happy anniversary, you guys. I'm so happy for you and so grateful for all of you being in my life and being able to do this sort of thing. We got time for one more share. Come on, one more person. Let's get one more share out there. Anybody got anything they want to add to this conversation? Come on, you can do it. We got a big smiley guy on Galaxy Tab S5e.
I'm happy to be here. Hello.
Hi. So where are you? So tell me about where you are because it looks fantastic.
Okay, so I'm in the high desert. I'm in Victorville. I have a script ready for you. I'm going to work on a new one now due to this quote unquote pandemic. I go there. Well, I went there recently with Anna. And then I had to come back here for work, and where she lives, we can step out on our balcony and look across and see the parking lot full. And sometimes we watch online and sing along with the band and clap. And praise for that hour. And we were kind of worried if this pandemic would stop this format of seeing and viewing the spirit work community, but it didn't. And I kind of prayed to the Creator to give this some momentum, and I got my answer to my prayer, because here I am, and here you are, and you and Trish, you and Ash are rocking, and Trish too. And I do imitations of everyone, by the way. Good ones, by the way. But I love everyone. I'm here with you. I want you to know that resilient is what this is about. I'm in total agreement of the paradigm shift being something for our benefit. Congratulations on the 18-year anniversary. Congratulations on everyone coming together on this beautiful day and being able to join in this interaction. I also do my new business on Zoom. So it's not only in the spirit work community that I'm finding Zoom beneficial, but also in my home-based business, where I have to deal with people back east in Connecticut. Primerica, if you're curious to know what that's about, insurance, life insurance, and 14 other items. Anyway, I'm hoping we can all be in each other's presence soon, and not in May and August and September and all of that. And if we aren't in physical presence, I know now I can be in tune on Zoom. And I encourage you to drink your tea, use your lemon, your honey, give yourself a walk, neighborhood, grass, do some grounding, some earthing, smile, be around family, send that I apologize if you need to, or receive one if necessary, and just really come together for the 2020 and not worry. And don't watch too much CNN and all the other ones, because fear is the enemy and faith is what matters most for me. And as you already heard and you already know, fear is false evidence appearing real, and we don't need any more of that. So let's stay in tune. Let's stay online. Let's love. Let's feel positive. And when we don't feel that way, we can reach out. There's plenty of people here. I have your number. It's number one in my wallet. I kind of procrastinated on getting back to you with my script, but I didn't beat myself up when I heard a message via online that you mentioned. I think it was everything feeds into everything. And I've had 96 jobs too. So I'm not going to beat myself up on being a little late. But I do have some fabulous works in store, musically, artistically, and I want to be of the community, and I'm happy to be here today. I woke up. My wife is literally across the street from you guys in Burbank, and I'm in Victorville, but we're together, and I'm glad. So thanks for letting me share.
You bet. That's great. Thank you for sharing. The one thing I would say is remember that fear is not an enemy. Okay, it's simply another part of God that we work with. That was my, in our resilience, there is also fragility. There is also fear. They both exist, and it's not a bad thing that they do. Or it gives us, remember, fear is not the enemy, it's the opportunity. It's the opportunity to remember who we truly are and bring us back to ourselves. And that's what we get to do over and over and over. Okay, so this is the part of the program where we pick somebody to pray on, or somebody steps up courageously so that we can pray on you. So now I need somebody to be brave enough to say, hey, I want you guys to pray on me today.
Why don't we pray for everybody, the whole world?
We could do that. Why don't we pray for everybody in the whole world? Why don't we do that today? All right. All right. Let's do that. So, as we always start, take a deep breath. Close your eyes and relax. And we start in our own hearts, feeling that healing, loving energy within our own hearts. And now we let it expand to fill our entire bodies with healing, loving energy, power, presence. Loving on ourselves right now. And now we reach out, feeling each other here, feeling everyone who is on this Zoom meeting or in the live stream. Feel the energy of all of us, the power, the presence of the spiritual community and family right here and now. And now we send that love, that healing power out to the world, to everyone, to all beings, not just humanity, but all beings. Knowing that our power and presence makes a difference. That right now we are healing, loving, creating space for everyone to rise into a world that works for everyone.
My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you.
And I am so grateful for the power and presence, the beauty and wonder of love, of light, of this great one healing energy that we are all a part of. The healing that is now taking place everywhere as we release this, knowing it to be so. And so it is. I am so happy you guys took time out to join us here today. This is the part of the program where I ask you to give. I ask you to hit the donate button on our website and give through the donate button. That is the best way to do it so that we can put this money to work to keep this ministry going. We need your support right here and now, and this is the best way to do it. Our website, spiritworkscsl.org. You go there, and on that page is a button that says donate. Please hit that button. It supports us as we all say together, God is the source of all supply. Money is God in action. What I give, I receive multiplied abundantly. All that God is, I am, and so it is.